Coming up on the Sports Desk, they're well on their way to a turnaround season. Can the Bishop girls continue their winning ways against a Delray League foe? Meanwhile, league play on the hardwood with the West Warriors in the Pioneer League. Will they cause trouble for the North Saxons in the battle of two Torrance schools? Plus, we're going to walk the red carpet with an all-star cast. We find out if there's anything Terrell Owens isn't good at. Who else is celebrating Super Bowl Sunday right here in Torrance? And of course, we will get you all caught up on scores, highlights, and updates on Torrance's prep sports scene. The Sports Desk starts right now. How's it going, Torrance? Great to see you as always. Welcome to a new week on the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Juan Hernandez. The Bishop girls soccer team has been having plenty of success this season. They held a 4-game winning streak where they netted 20 goals with a nice fat 0 in the goals against column. The big question would be if they could keep things rolling against league foe St. Joseph in their first league game, who has struggled mightily this season. The Knights came out swinging early on in this one. Senior Tessa Allen got her groove on early, netting the first goal of the game and put Bishop up early, but that wouldn't hold for long. St. Joseph storms right back and ends up scoring 2 unanswered to down the Knights by a final of 2-1. That was Bishop's first league game of the season and first league loss of the new year. Tessa Allen would be the only one to light up the lamp for the Knights in this one. After the tough loss, Bishop would rebound as they just absolutely destroy league rivals St. Paul Pius X and St. Matthias Academy 10-1. The hats come off in this one twice as Natalie D'Angelo and the freshman Megan Lau each had hat tricks. The Knights score 4 goals in the first half and get turned up in the second, adding another 6. Bishop improves to 9-4-1 on the season. They are just 3 wins away from surpassing last season's win total. The North Saxons and West Warriors meet up for their first meeting of the season, and West runs away with this one in a hurry. So far in the new year, the Saxons have been shut out twice and have shut out their opponents twice. Meanwhile, West has won twice and lost once so far in the month of January. Now the Torrance Tartars getting it done in their second league contest. Torrance just squeaks by rival South to open up league and saved up that offensive firepower, scoring 7 times against losing her. Torrance starts off league play a perfect 2-0, and they improve to 9-1-3 overall so far this season. The South Spartans fall to rival Torrance in their first taste of Pioneer League play, but were able to bounce back against Centennial, shutting them out 2-0. South improves to 12-5-2 overall and 2-1 in league play. Now let's head over to the boys' soccer scene, starting it off with the Torrance Tartars. Torrance Downs losing her 3-2, winning their 3rd straight game. The Tartars are now 3-0-1 in their last 4 meetings, with their last loss coming on December 26th against Redondo. South fell to Centennial 3-1. The new year hasn't brought the Spartans good luck as they go down to 1-3 in the month of January, only scoring 3 goals, and they allow 7 goals during that exact same stretch. Rounding out the prep soccer scene, the Bishop Montgomery Knights. Bishop was shut out in their league opener, but was able to right the ship against St. Monica. The Knights shutting out the Mariners 2-0. Coach Holbert and co. improved to 5-5-3 on the season and an even 1-1 in league play now. All right, everybody, that's all for your prep soccer scene. When we come back, we trade in soccer cleats for Jordans, and we're going to get you caught up on everything going down on the hardwood.
Mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at 58 years old.
8 years into the disease was when all the light went out.
For me, it was heart-wrenching.
Looking into the eyes of somebody with Alzheimer's, sometimes you just don't see the person's soul is like gone.
And it takes a toll on everyone. I mean, it's a depressing disease to watch unfold before your eyes.
She actually thought those of us who were caring for her and who loved her most were her worst enemies.
More and more responsibilities fell on my shoulders.
This disease just ravages a family.
It changes your life.
The magnitude of it is indescribable. My mother taught me to be in the moment.
We have to live in the moment with them.
And I'm going to be with that person right now in this moment, wherever she is.
Now is the moment. If we work together, we can stop this epidemic.
Contact Bright Focus and learn more.
Parents sure have their hands full, and they could use an extra hand. Now, every state offers free or low-cost health insurance for your sports hero or budding artist. Kids up to age 19 can get checkups, doctor and dentist visits, hospital care, prescriptions, and more. Your child may qualify based on your family size and income. It's one less thing to worry about. Call or go online for more information.
Welcome back. So the North Saxons boys basketball squad took their first game of Pioneer League play, edging out Centennial 73-70. On the other side, the West Warriors dropped their first league matchup against Lusinger 52-40. For both schools, their second league matchup of the season happened to be against one another. North hoping for their second league win, while the Warriors are looking for their first. Aaron Ogata drops 14 points, 8 of those coming in the second half for the Saxons, and Ryan Burnett adds 10 for West. Nathan Tanada leads the way with 16 points, and Christian Jackson adding a side of 14. The Saxons collect their 5th win in a row, improving to 9-8 overall and 2-0 in league, while the Warriors drop their 3rd straight, giving up 50-plus points during their current losing streak. Meanwhile, South rocking a 2-game win streak. They took care of Pioneer League foe Torrance 76-55. They followed that up with another huge league win over Centennial 63-58. Sophomore Jordan Tang has himself a LeBron James kind of night with 28 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals. This is South's first win against Centennial since the 2012-2013 season. And the Tartars, not having as much luck, they dropped their first 2 league games, falling to South 76-65 and Lusinger 60-59. The Tartars fall to 7-11 overall and are still winless in league play. Now we're going to head out of the Pioneer League and cruise to the Del Rey League as the Bishop Montgomery Knights continue their 2014-2015 dominance. Bishop just blows St. Bernard out of the water 66-24. The Knights jumped out to an early 18-point lead and would not look back in their Del Rey League opener. The Knights are clicking on all cylinders, especially defensively. They allow the Vikings just 13 points in the half. Stephen Thompson Jr. outscores St. Bernard by himself in the first half with 14. Thompson Jr. finished the night with 19 points, and Jordan Shackle adds 12. Bishop keeps the good vibes rolling against the Cathedral Phantoms, who kept this game in reach but couldn't overcome STJ's 12 points in the 4th quarter. Thompson Jr. would finish with 20 on the night. Meanwhile, his little brother Ethan added 17. Christian Oshida led Bishop in scoring with 24 points. The Knights improved to 19-1 on the season, 2-0 in Del Rey League play. They are riding an 11-game win streak, averaging just over 74 points per game. Bishop hasn't lost since December 22nd, when they fell in heartbreaking fashion to Marin Catholic. To the girls' basketball scene, 2 powerhouse Pioneer League schools, the North Saxons and West Warriors, met up for the first time this season. Early bragging rights on the line in this one. West led for most of this game until late in the 4th. Caitlin Sarazawa's basket puts the Saxons ahead in the final minute of regulation, but a Monica Murkowski putback in the final seconds helps the Warriors send this one to overtime. In the extra period, the Saxons would take control, taking this one 55-50. The Brittany McPherson show is in full force for North. She has 24 points, 15 of those coming in the second half. McPherson's previous season high was just 13 points. And the Torrance Tartars and the South Spartans, they duel it out. South coming out on top 62-50. They continued their dominance over the Tartars. To put that in perspective, Torrance hasn't beaten South now since the 2012-2013 season. In Torrance's second league game, it was a different outcome. In fact, the complete opposite of that loss to South. They came out on top against Lusinger 66-55. The Tartars are now 4-9 overall and 1-1 in league play. Meanwhile, South wins their 6th straight. Coach Imamura and co. took down Centennial 63-15. Looks like the defense came out to play, allowing just 15 points during their 6-game winning streak. The Spartans are averaging just about 60 points per game and keeping their opponents to just under 40 per contest. Looks like 2015 has been the good luck charm, as South hasn't lost since back in December. Girls basketball at Bishop has been pretty steady so far this season, but the Lady Knights, they couldn't get things together against St. Anthony, losing 56-48. They face off against St. Paul in their second league game and were able to get back on track, edging out the Lady Swordsmen 63-58. Now let's move on to the junior college scene. Elko men's basketball with a 2-game homestand and right in the midst of beginning of conference play. Elko starting off this one on top, ending the first half with a 3-point lead, but Cerritos College would storm back in the second, going on a 14-2 run, and they never look back. Cerritos goes on to win 66-54. Emmanuel Pope and Patrick Rittman each have 13 points and 12 rebounds combined for the Warriors. For the second game, Elko took on El Camino Compton Center, but they couldn't overcome an 8-point deficit in the first half. Malik Wildermuth leads the scoring charge for the Warriors with 17 points and 9 rebounds. The Warriors are 5-10 overall and now 1-2 in conference play. For the Lady Warriors, it's been a completely different story. In the first half against Cerritos College, the Warriors drain 8 three-pointers, putting Elko up by 16 at the half. Two of the Warriors team up and have 31 of Elko's 67 points. And in the second game of the Lady Warriors homestand, El Camino outscores El Camino Compton Center 33-11 in the first half, and they go on to down the Tartars 69-36. Chantaline Trudeau led the way for Elko with 19 points and 8 rebounds. The Lady Warriors are currently riding a 5-game win streak, with their last loss coming back in December against Mount San Jacinto. All right, everybody, that wraps up all of your prep and JUCO news from the hardwood. Get your popcorn ready and stay where you are. We are going to show you why some of today's biggest stars came together for a good cause right here in Torrance.
Cute little dog in the pet store window. Chances are it came from a puppy mill, a breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help, just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. Now imagine sharing the joy of adopting with your friends. Seeing the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pets and share with 5 of their friends who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org to learn more.
Hey, Daniel. The gentleman over there, he paid for your meal.
The power of one small action, one conversation, or one phone call can make a difference in the life of a veteran going through a difficult time. For free 24/7 confidential support, call the Veterans Crisis Line or the Military Crisis Line.
Welcome back. Prep football is long gone, but the Daily Breeze released their football all-area teams, which was headlined by some of Torrance's very own. Starting things off, the one kid taking home the Offensive Player of the Year honors is no surprise, especially after his over 300 yards on the ground and 7 TD performance in a 62-47 win over South High. Drumroll please, who is that? Torrance Tartar's running back Tyree Harris getting a huge honor, taking home Offensive Player of the Year. Harris, who had Madden-like numbers this season, rushed for over 1,800 yards with a casual 27 touchdowns. Harris was also named Offensive Player of the Year in the Pioneer League. It marked the biggest season for a Tartar since Tyrone Taylor had a school record of more than 30 TDs in 2010 with over 1,500 rushing yards and 190 tackles on defense. South High also getting some love. Newcomer of the Year was given to a Spartan freshman. Yes, I said freshman. Logan Thomas, who was moved up to varsity upon his arrival on campus. He amassed 79 tackles, 4 sacks, 3 interceptions, and the list just goes on. He was a defensive stud for the Spartans and was an all-Pioneer League selection as a defensive back for the Spartans. Torrance players making some noise on the first team Daily Breeze all-area offense. Offensive lineman Adrian Skelton of Torrance was one of the main reasons why the Tartars rushed for almost 3,000 yards this past season. Skelton was a first-team All-Pioneer League pick and an All-CIF Southern Section Western Division selection for the Tartars. For West, kicker Scott McGraw getting some attention. McGraw was old Mr. Reliable for the Warriors kicking game. He was a first-team All-Pioneer League selection for West, helping them capture the Pioneer League championship and reaching the CIF semis, where they fell to Palos Verdes. On the defensive side of the ball, the first-team all-area squad was stacked with talent from Torrance also. Starting things off with senior linebacker Andrew Irvine of Torrance High. Irvine was in an eye-popping 180 tackles. Irvine was a first-time All-Pioneer League pick and an All-CIF Southern Section pick for the Tartars. For the West Warriors, Benton Shortridge and Brett Ogie making the cut. Shortridge was a force for the West D Corps and was a first-team All-Pioneer League selection. Meanwhile, we all know Brett Ogie could run the ball, and that guy could also play some defense. Ogie joined the Warriors secondary for the first time this season. He was also named the MVP of the Pioneer League, helping West capture that league title. Finally, rounding out the all-area first-team defense, who else other than North junior Mike Juarez? Guy's just a beast all over the football field, literally. He was effective on both offense and defense for the Saxons. The Pioneer League Defensive Player of the Year recorded 107 tackles, just over 8 sacks, 6 forced fumbles, and 3 picks. Now, staying on the topic of Mike Juarez, the Saxons all-purpose player who frankly looks older than me, verbally committed to USC over the weekend. Let's not forget, the guy also played offense with more than 2,000 all-purpose yards and 22 touchdowns, where he lined up at quarterback, wide receiver, and running back. Juarez was offered at the Rising Stars camp last June and becomes the 3rd player to join the 2016 recruiting class. And speaking of football, Super Bowl Sunday is as much an American holiday as anything else, and the Super Bowl party is its biggest staple. For one NBA All-Star, that annual party is all about helping others. Chris Paul of the LA Clippers knows much of his success on the court started with the communities that supported him as a high school standout in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, to his days in a powerhouse basketball program in college, and even today as he runs the CP3 Foundation. He's bringing this year's Super Bowl party and the good cause it benefits right here to Torrance. You've seen Dancing with the Stars. How about Bowling with the Stars? Tonight, we patrol the red carpet to see just how serious things are going to get when NBA superstar Chris Paul takes his game from the hardwood to the hardwood against an all-star lineup. You're up against some pretty stiff competition. Chris Paul, Terrell Owens.
Who's a very good bowler, by the way.
Exactly. That guy's good at everything,
He's good at everything.
Well, I know Chris Hardwick is a very good bowler. I also know Terrell Owens is a very good bowler. So weirder things have happened, and you never know. So a celebrity could surprise us all.
All right, Nick. Yeah. I've heard you say it a few times here already. You are not that good of a bowler, apparently.
I don't do this, but I'm going to attempt to do this. Hopefully, I don't embarrass myself.
This guy, by the way, is absolutely no slouch in the lanes, I hear. Your dad was a professional bowler, is that right?
Yeah, my dad's in the Hall of Fame. So I say all that, but then if I don't bowl well, people are going to be like, what happened?
You said you're almost on Belmonte's level.
Yeah, I probably over-exaggerated that a little bit.
We want to show off today. This is our sport, and Chris and T.O. and some of them are pretty good, but it's nice that we don't have to play football against T.O. or guard Chris Paul.
Is there anybody else that you're expecting maybe a big game from tonight?
Well, Terrell's got a ton of talent, and he works hard at it. Like everything else he does, there's not much half in.
Is there anything that T.O. doesn't do well?
I don't play golf. But him not being good at golf probably means like he shoots 79.
So there it is. So apparently it's not being good at golf actually means he's like a 10 handicap.
Yeah, he's still better than you and me.
Everybody that's watching, definitely get your popcorn ready.
If I'm able to bowl, I'm going to talk smack to him. Yeah, most definitely. Because, I can talk, I can get in your head.
You know what I mean? You got to at least look like you, or sound like you play the sport.
You got to talk fear into them so that they're off their game and get in their head, right?
Yeah, they don't want it.
You know, those would be sweet bowling shoes.
I'm not gonna lie, you know what I was thinking of doing? Full suit and tie and bowling shoes.
You could just get away with that in life. That's a good
idea.
I'm here to win. I want to be part of the charity. I want to be part of the winning team, and if that means I'm with Chris Paul, then that's the best thing in the world.
Oh man, I'm a good friend of Chris Paul. I mean, he supported me in many of my events before, and I just coming out to return the favor. The real reason why we're here is for Chris Paul's foundation, and obviously everybody's having a lot of fun with it, so I'm more than happy to be in support of him and what he's doing.
So here he is, the man of the hour, Chris Paul. You brought all of these people out here, you put this together. You got to be feeling pretty good about this event tonight.
Oh, I'm excited. This is always such a fun event.
You were actually just here in Torrance a couple weeks ago at a Toys R Us, helping out a bunch of kids. And one of the things that I caught on to was that it was really important for your kids to be there and learn a lesson about that.
It's really big for me and my wife to show our kids how to give back and how to be appreciative and grateful for the things that you have in life. And I think that's why I enjoy it so much, because when I was a kid, my parents and my grandparents constantly showed me what it was like to help others, and it becomes contagious.
All right, everybody, tune in to ESPN on Super Sunday, and you can see all the action and who's going to win big in the 6th annual CP3 Celebrity Invitational, all from our very own Bolodrome lanes. Then, of course, you can head over to AMF Bolodrome to check out the flashy upgrades and see if you can beat TO's score. As for the CP3 Foundation, go to cp3foundation.org to see what events the NBA All-Star is holding and learn more about any of his initiatives, from the CP3 After School Zone to the Nathaniel Jones Scholarship Fund, which was created in honor of Paul's grandfather. That's going to close the books on another week here on the Sports Desk. As always, we're available on Facebook if you want to take a peek at what's going down throughout the week and what games we are featuring. That's facebook.com/thesportsdesktv. Or if you'd like to email the show, it's thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov. All right, like I said, that wraps it up. It's been fun as always. See you next week, Torrance.